Since September of 2023, Bitcoin has been creating consistent higher lows on the larger timescales. Today we are bouncing right off of 65,000. Despite the fact that things may have been very boring recently, Bitcoin is in an uptrend. This is the definition of an uptrend. These are higher lows. And so Bitcoin is trending. The trend is your friend until the end of the trend. And when it comes to the parabolic trend that we've been mapping out for the past year, there's good news and bad news. The good news is we are still maintaining the trend line. The bad news is just by a hair. This trajectory is on its last legs. The price of Bitcoin needs to find a low here and continue up into new highs in order for this trend to be maintained. So I haven't made a video on this channel in quite a while because not much has changed about the market. We've been kind of just going sideways, and that is the potential problem for this trend. And Bitcoin might be putting in that needed higher low right now as we speak. So all of this and more in today's video. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be discussing the price of Bitcoin. Well, not too much has happened for Bitcoin or the crypto market in general. It has been supremely boring over the past many weeks, although we are coming up on a very critical point based on time, and that is the parabolic trend line. Given enough time, the price could trade straight through the parabolic trend line, and it would no longer be a parabola in the traditional sense. It would just be a different type of setup. So with that being said, the parabolic trend is something that is good for momentum. If you maintain the trend, the price can run up faster than it would normally would, although it's not necessarily a requirement, but I would certainly like to see this trend line be maintained so that we can confirm that we do have momentum still. Because if we do break down out of this trend, it could mean that we actually consolidate for a much longer period of time at lower levels. But we are still right on the trend line, and if Bitcoin does maintain this higher low trajectory, well, we can maintain the parabolic trend and see a price target of 90,000. And right now, I'm still maintaining a bullish bias. I'm still going along with this analysis because the trend is still our friend, and even on the daily chart, higher lows, the trend is our friend right now. So I'm going to maintain a bullish bias here. You could also simply just start drawing trend lines. You can see there are two trend lines here. This one being much steeper, meaning that it is exponentially rising still, which is part of the parabolic trajectory. And it appears that Bitcoin is retesting our RSI breakout. And if you plot a vertical line on where the RSI breaks out of the RSI downtrends, you can see these usually are a leading signal of an uptrend or a continuation to the upside. And we did see that in May. And Bitcoin is currently retesting the RSI breakout. And if we do see a bounce off this level, this would probably lead us into a major uptrend on the RSI and an uptrend on price. I think a lot of people forget just how close we are to actually breaking out into new all-time highs. We have a slight downtrend for our resistance there, but the price is only about 8% away from breaking that resistance line, and it is only about 11% away from hitting a new all-time high. Bitcoin is sustaining prices near the all-time high. We're not really seeing much rejection off the all-time high. We're seeing a consolidation, but we're getting higher lows right along our all-time high level. So if I had to take a guess, we are probably going to continue to consolidate and break out moving into the next couple of weeks. And if we do that, we should be set for our major extension, the vertical push towards 90,000 of the parabolic trend. Now, why am I still maintaining a bullish bias here? Well, one, Bitcoin has not seen a major rejection off of this zone. It's sideways. It's a consolidation. The price has, the market has agreed on this level as a fair price for Bitcoin. We are getting higher lows. That's a signal of demand. And also, if you look at the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is also seeing a continued run. The S&P looking pretty strong. We've actually just been hitting new all-time highs over the past 3 weeks. And the S&P 500 usually leads Bitcoin into new all-time highs. Looking at the daily chart for the S&P 500, we are sitting in a new uptrend. So, there's been a lot of negative talk about stocks and that we're going to enter a recession or, all the usual sort of noise you hear about the stock market. But the S&P is continuing up in a very strong fashion. So Bitcoin, in my opinion, today, this bounce is likely due to the S&P and the stock market showing a high degree of confidence. So speculators are starting to put in support where we are which is just another higher low inside of a major uptrend. And so I think that we are likely going to continue up into new all-time highs. And where will that lead us? Well, continuing with the parabolic trend analysis. As long as we don't start to break into lower lows, we are maintaining the trend, and Bitcoin can push up to that major extension towards 90,000, the textbook sell point. So this is still the analysis. Nothing has changed yet. Things have been boring. We've been going sideways, but as long as we follow the stock market here, we should be good to go. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Smash a like and subscribe. Also, in my Patreon, we are adding new altcoins to the portfolio fairly often, and we are preparing for Altseason, which has taken a while to get started, but I do think that the moment that Bitcoin starts trending above the all-time high, we are going to see a major alt season follow. So you guys want to be prepared for that. We have limited slots in the Patreon. Join today to secure your spot. And if you do join, make sure you connect to the Discord so that you can see all of that content and you can get direct access to me in the Discord. I'll see you all in the next video.